Okay, what we have here is a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500. This is my first YouTube video, so bear with me here. But I haven't seen a whole lot of videos on this truck. I mean, there are some, but I don't know, they didn't seem very good to me, but so I'm gonna do my own. So what we got going on here is we're getting ready to tear this whole engine out and transmission, get transmission rebuilt. As you can tell, I've got transfer case out now. This here carrier bearing is bad, so I gotta get a new one of those, and it is dirty. There's so much oil, dirt. As you can tell, this thing leaks a lot. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just nothing but oil and dirt. So what we got underneath here, getting ready to pull the transmission now. This thing is very big, very heavy. This is the first time me doing this too. Just to let you know, I am no diesel mechanic by any means. No mechanic either. I am just doing this on my own because, well, because I can, I suppose. So, pinion seal leaks will have to be changed. And this is very dirty underneath here, full of grease, oil, as you can tell. But what I do have on here is a FAS 150 gallon filtration system, lift pump. I put a, oh, can't see that, but I do have a suction tube in the tank. I was having problems with the pump, and so I put the suction tube in there. I've got 150 gallon pump, and there's a whole mess of wiring, as you can tell. I do have edge chip in here that came with the truck, so I don't know exactly, it says CTS on it, so, but that's about all I know about it. I do have EGT gauge, boost gauge, and that's about it. And let's see, otherwise, when I got the truck, it had a BD Power turbo on it. I don't exactly know which one. I think it's the Super B, but I couldn't tell you what it is. It does have 4-inch exhaust right from the turbo on there, which is nice, but I put this air filter on it. It's not very good, but it works. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to be pulling the engine out. We're going to be putting new air horn on it. I am going to be going with Fleece Performance 63mm Cheetah turbo for it. I'm going with 150 horse injectors. I'll be going with a Smarty programmer. I am going to be rebuilding the pump, lift pump in the back, 150 gallon lift pump. I'm going to be getting a new motor for it, just to make sure that thing doesn't fail on me. It sounds kind of weak, So I'm gonna get that. I'm going to be getting a hot rod injection pump for it as well. Let's see, ARP head studs. Transmission is getting sent in to get rebuilt. Dual disc clutch from Valor. Let's see, and then just odds and ends of new parts. It needs a new gearbox, really bad. This truck was a plow truck when I got it. It still had, like, it didn't come with the plow, but it came with the motor and stuff on it, so it was a plow truck. All the steering, all the knuckles, ball joints, all of that was completely shot, so I replaced all those a couple of years ago. All the seals and gaskets and everything in this engine are shot. It leaks so much oil. You can tell there's oil everywhere. I mean, just looking down here, you can see the puddle that it leaves. I mean, nothing but oil. So, but yeah, that's part of the plan for the truck. Eventually, what I'm looking for is I want to break that 500 horsepower to the rear wheels. That's what I'm looking to break. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get that. If not, well, I'll be happy either way. But from what I've heard, some people have told me that I can make between 500 and 600. We'll see. But otherwise, other plans for the truck is, after this thing is completely cleaned up, wiring redone for lights. I mean, after the motor work is done, which there'll be a lot to do with that. I am going to be putting new stereo, be bringing it to Best Buy and have them put down a new stereo system in the truck, have them put some subs in it probably. I have body work that needs to get done on this thing, and probably the last thing that will happen to it is I'll be putting, hopefully, a custom 8-inch lift with some 38 15.5-inch NATO mud grapplers is what I want to go with, but that will be quite a while from now. This thing needs to get washed down. I'm gonna underbody coat the whole thing. I might take off the box just to get underneath there better and wash it up underneath here to get a better, get it cleaner, get things cleaned up nicely. I mean, the box is still the original color, which is blue from whatever truck it came off of. Blue truck, obviously. I didn't even do that. Do have stacks. Put a nice toolbox in there. The truck runs fine, actually. It just leaks so much oil, and the clutch is slipping. That's why I got to really do this stuff to it. But anywho, that's what I kind of got. Like I said, this is my first YouTube video, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I can tell I already suck at it, but I will let you know what happens and have a few more videos hopefully on it as I go along. Hopefully I'll get better at the recording. But just doing this in my shop. Been waiting a long time to do this. But this is just for anybody else that's doing it. And like I said, I'm no diesel mechanic. I am no mechanic at all. All I have is other YouTube videos that I can find, forums that I can read. I just bought the complete shop manual for this truck, 4 volumes worth, 500 pages per volume, and there's 4 volumes of just the whole thing of this truck and other trucks that are made in 2001. And besides that to go off of, I guess my neighbor is a diesel mechanic. He said he'd help me if I needed it, so that's about all I'm going off of here. So trial and error and see what happens. But I know there's some things I have missed, but anything I come across that needs to get bought brand new, rebuilt, I'm just doing. I'm just gonna buy it and just buy it brand new. I'm not gonna screw around with putting used parts in or trying to clean it up a little bit and hopefully it works. I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm just gonna buy it brand new, put it in, and know that it's good. Like this AC radiator here, this, I need to get a new one. Just get a new one, replace it. AC doesn't work that well in here, so need to figure that out. Pump. This bumper I made myself though. Went to school for welding and fabrication, so I built this front bumper. It's got LED pod lights. I'm not done with it. I need to put brush guard on it, which I will do eventually as well. I also built the back bumper for it. Built these both a couple years ago actually. This truck has right now 33 12.5 hand cook tires, MTs on it right now. I did, when I bought the truck, put leveling kit in it, so it has 2.5-inch spacers up front for it, new shocks. When I bought this truck was red, autumn red, like this right here, and it had a flatbed on it. So when I got it, I bought a bed from somebody that I knew, put it on here. We actually traded flatbed for box, and I sanded this whole truck down and painted it myself, and it's okay. I mean, it was better than it was before, but as you can tell, paint's flaking off, and you know, amateur paint job. But I will get it done professionally when I have the money and it's mechanically sound. And I have to replace fenders. It's rusting through on the fenders. I'm just gonna buy new fenders for both sides. Just get rust fixed on the door a little bit. This here is probably the biggest part. Completely rusted through. This here, I hit a nice road sign. New Year's Eve. Hit a road sign, hit some black ice, and back end swung out and hit the sign. But snapped that sign right off and sent it flying though. So that's more body work that has to be done. I am planning on getting a short throw shifter for the transmission. The distance that you have to shift this thing is really long. I don't really like it. I have a CB radio that goes in here, and it hits my CB every time. And if anybody actually wanted to sit in the middle seat, you'd hit them right in the knee pretty much. You hit them in the knee every time, almost. So I'm gonna get a short throw shifter for it to shorten up that a little bit. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, besides new stereo. Speakers going in here. Let's see. And fixing any other problems. I do have a 50-inch LED light bar in the front and a 20-inch LED light bar in the back. Work great. I don't really use the back one very much, just to basically back up the trailers and backing up the trailers. These do have LED pod lights in the rear bumper, which I actually have hooked up to the reverse lights on a truck. So when I put it in reverse, and it lights up everything. It's really nice having for when I back up, because just looking like these windows have tint on them, pretty bad. Need to get new tint on it. But in the middle of the night, you try and backing up with the stock backup lights on this thing, and you just can barely see anything. I mean, you have to roll down your window and look out the window, because the backup lights are just terrible on this thing. So I hooked up the LED pods, and now you can see everything when you back up. No problems there. But so yeah, just wanted to make this video and see what happens. I don't know if anybody is gonna want to see more on this or not. Like I said, first time doing it, so I'm not very good, but that's that. So here she is, 2001 Dodge Cummins. It's a manual 6-speed. What it is. Hopefully more videos to come. Lots of stuff is going to happen to this thing. And besides the other project I have going on over here that kind of just came out of the blue, which I wasn't really looking for, but it came up anyway. Hopefully this will be our other project. Little Nissan 240SX drift car, hopefully, for the summertime. But the truck has to get done first, so that way the truck can even pull the car to the track. So that thing is actually going to get rolled outside because my truck over here needs to be in this bay for when I tear it apart. So that car needs to get put back together a little bit, rolled outside for the rest of the winter until my truck is done. And then we can roll the car back in. But do have an engine hoist that I'll be using to pull the engine out. I do need to buy a heavier duty engine stand from Northern Tool. This thing is just like a little 1,000-pound engine stand I bought because we pulled the motor out of the car, but that engine stand is definitely not going to hold my truck engine, so I'm going to go back to Northern Tool and they have a 2,000-pound engine stand which I'm going to buy and put this engine on. And then obviously I'm going overkill with the engine stand because there ain't no way I'm taking chances with this engine stand breaking and dropping my engine on the floor. So, but yeah, pulling the engine out, hopefully pulling it all the way down to the block. Gonna send it into Auto Value, have them, what would you say, acid bath it or degrease the whole engine so it's nice and clean. Have them check all the cylinder walls, you know, if it needs sleeves. I think this comes with sleeves in it, not 100% sure. And see if it needs new sleeves. Check the pistons, check everything. Make sure it's good to go. This truck has 320,000 miles on it, so I mean I think it was a ranch truck before because this thing had a fifth wheel on the flatbed and that fifth wheel was bent in quite a bit. So this guy, whoever had it before me, definitely worked the hell out of this truck, that's for sure. And so yeah, well, I'll just drop it there. Hopefully we'll make another video here shortly and give you more updates on what's going on.